Hello and welcome to the audio newsletter for the 24th of May 2023, presented by myself, Sarah, and Michelle. This week was a big week for NatRoad, wasn't it?
It sure was, and Paul Fellows discussed this in his message this fortnight. The Brisbane Truck Show took over, being surely the best to date. With more than 35,000 metres of exhibits filling all three levels, the Brisbane Convention and Exhibition Centre, Paul Fellows mentioned the true task was in navigating your way around. It is only fitting that the industry has a get-together of this scale. We've seen record demand for new trucks over the last year, and there's an enormous amount of innovation going on, Paul Fellows said. And NatRoad had an exhibition stand at this massive event.
They did. Paul Fellows alongside NatRoad staff manned the stand, all very excited to meet members and non-members alike at the event. It was great to put faces to names and see what the NatRoad partners had to offer at their stands also. The turnout broke previous records with more than 40,000 people coming through the doors over the 4 days.
Paul Fellows also wanted to remind members of another great event coming later in the year, the NatRoad Conference, held on the Gold Coast from the 27th to 29th of September. Registrations are open, and you can find the link on the events page of our website or in the chair message of your email newsletter.
Also in our newsletter this fortnight was a reminder regarding the looming deadlines for zombie agreements.
Yes, for those unaware, those under so-called zombie workplace agreements have until 7 June to inform employees of the deadline in writing. The deadline was mandated by the federal government during the passage of its new workplace legislation. Zombie agreements are those made before 2010, and they will automatically terminate or sunset on 7 December 2023. If you wish to extend an expired agreement, you can apply to the Fair Work Commission before the deadline.
You must inform employees about it by 7 June, and not doing so could result in a court-imposed fine. After an agreement's expiry, employees previously covered by these zombie agreements may be transferred to an underlying modern award or a separate enterprise agreement. We urge members to engage with affected workers promptly and use the Fair Work Commission's resources. As always, NatRoad advisors are on hand to support you if you have questions.
Another item in the newsletter this edition was a guide to dealing with rollovers and severe accidents. Being involved in such as a heavy vehicle rollover can be traumatic and disorientating experience, particularly when significant physical injuries and psychological harm are involved. Start with looking at number 1, prioritize your health, both mental and physical. 2, report the incident to appropriate authorities. 3, inform your employer or client. 4, gather evidence about the incident. 5, seek legal consultation. 6, claim workers' compensation. 7, file insurance claims. And 8, access mental health support. For a more in-depth description from our guide, check your newsletter or the news and updates section of our website. And as always, if you have further questions, do not hesitate to contact us.
Members should note the Australian Tax Office's warning to small businesses and sole traders not to risk pushing the envelope on deductions this tax year. Personal deductions for home offices and some COVID support payments will be under increased scrutiny by the ATO. It warned people working in the courier and road freight industries that it already has data about their expected level of income.
Most government payments or financial support received as a result of COVID-19 need to be included as taxable income. In March, the ATO issued more than 52,000 notices to company directors, warning them about unpaid tax debts. It has warned businesses that if they couldn't pay a debt immediately, they need to talk to the tax office to establish payment arrangements. For more information, see the links in your newsletter or the corresponding news article on our website.
The last item in the newsletter warned employers that they should brace themselves for a rise in the national minimum wage when the Fair Work Commission hands down its latest decision in the next few weeks. The federal government says that it supports a rise and that it should not fall behind the rate of inflation, but has not proposed a figure. The rate of inflation has been running at 7% in the past 12 months. While we are aware that the rising cost of living is having an impact on employees, NatRoad cannot support a 7% rise in the minimum wage. This would be on top of an already scheduled superannuation guarantee increase and sky-high overheads like fuel costs. If passed on in full, it would increase the minimum hourly wage to $22.87 and raise weekly earnings by $56.46 from $812.60 to $869.06. NatRoad notes the recent federal budget forecasts that inflation is due to moderate in the coming year.
We would like to remind you that if you have any questions regarding any of the articles mentioned today or further information, please do not hesitate to contact us on 1800-272-144 or email info@natroad.com.au.
We would also like to thank this newsletter sponsor, Bridgestone, for the continued support.